I like me a good FPS game, and goddamn do I like me some Warhammer 40k. So Warhammer 40k Boltgun is right up my alley. Now this is kind of a based video due to my love of these two elements, but don't let it take away from the fact that this is an easy recommendation for anyone who loves a good single player FPS or the 40k universe. 40k fans have not had it easy over the years, with series being butchered, underwhelming releases, and overall there's just not been the best rep when it comes to 40k video games. Necromunda, Darktide, Dawn of War 3, need I say more? But Boltgun puts a stop to this cycle, being an extremely competent boomer shooter, putting you in the armour of an ultramarine set on a quest to purge the heretics. Now, there's the odd cutscene, but by no means is story Boltgun's strongest suit, and to be honest, if you're playing the game for the story, what the fuck is wrong with you? Outside of the cutscenes, you have a servitor floating behind you with little occasional bits of advice on the situation or some background info. This is all shown via a text chat in the top left corner that doesn't stop gameplay, but I sure as hell don't have time to be reading that when I'm chainsaw deep in a Chaos Marine, so please add a voice acted servitor. During your time purging, slaughtering, and just straight up obliterating the Xenos filth, you become familiar with a wide range of weaponry. Bolters, shotguns, vengeance launchers, plasma guns, just to name a few. And a nice nod to the 40k tabletop game, each weapon has a strength tied to it. Foot also have a strength number related to them, so if you shoot them with a weapon of a lower strength, it does do less damage than one with the same or higher. Basically, big number do more damage against everything. But with that, you also need to manage ammo so you don't run out of a specific weapon in case you get thrown against a tough boy. Maps are a nice size, with some missions taking 15 to 20 minutes to finish our blind playthrough. It's a classic mixture of collect keys to open doors, locked arena spaces, and plenty of fodder for your bolter to rip through. And the environments are also badass and varied, from churches to battery emplacement to chaos tainted warp tripping zones. Boltgun has it all. And so far I haven't felt much backtracking that was unnecessary, and somehow I haven't felt lost in these mazes, though an addition of a map would definitely not be a complaint. Although it's an obvious 40k game with lovely nods to the lore and universe, you really don't need to be invested in the world to enjoy it. Essentially, you are big superhuman with big gun and go around shooting bad people who don't agree with you and want to tear the world apart and turn it to chaos. There, that's all you need to know. And from a gameplay perspective, as far as boomer shooters go, this is a really good one for both those experienced in the genre and those who are looking to get their first taste in. Controls feel like a traditional FPS, and you'll feel right at home if you've played the likes of Doom, Halo, CS. The art style is something else, oozing in charm, with inspiration being recreating a 90s shooter with that modern twist. Pixelated 2D sprites, low poly worlds are all there, but stuff like projections have a gorgeous glow as they come hurtling towards you, and as I said, the taint of chaos is just extremely trippy and cool and epic. I feel Boltgun strikes a nice middle ground, with advancing the genre but also not forgetting its roots. For a performance perspective, I have been getting quite a few big stutters when the shit hits the fan, even getting close to under 60 FPS, and on my rig that shouldn't really be an issue, but hopefully it's something that's fixed soon. When it's running at 240 FPS at 1440p, praise the Emperor, is it a glorious feeling though. And now I may get flack for this, but I'm not the biggest fan of Boltgun's soundtrack. I get where they're coming from, going for the 90s inspired vibe, but I'm really sad they didn't take a page out of Darktide's book, because that soundtrack is just pristine. But they are also competing against the likes of Doom, and I understand that this is hard to try and beat that. This didn't matter too much, as the rest of the audio design is stunning, and the constant hail of bolter fire and enemies being made into mushy piles of gore, you barely ever get to hear that soundtrack, with all weapons having their own distinct sound and scratch the right part of my brain when you're firing it. Hearing your suit clash against the metal floor as you charge around, and the nice squelchy sound as you turn someone into a red pulp is a lovely touch. Outside the voice acted servitor and the map, things I'd love to see is a map editor and just overall more content. Being able to give the community the reins and be able to create new levels. I can only imagine some of the recreations of other boomer shooters, iconic locations in 40k lore, and just, it'd be so cool. So Warhammer 40k Boltgun is all around good fun and a solid addition to the 40k gaming space. Easily one of the most unexpectedly good games of this year, and although I had my eye on it, I didn't expect it to be this fucking good. You owe it to yourself to give this game a go or add it to your disgusting backlog of games. Yes, I'm calling you out. Stay safe, look after yourselves. Laters.